Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark P. Wiz, back with more Pocket Fighter EX, the fan game that is free and not endorsed or supported or affiliated with SNK or Capcom or anything like that. So just to get that out of the way, and let's just cut on over. Okay, quite a bit of stuff has happened since last time. Trying to get the whole thing ready for, the public demo update. So, let's just get right into it, and I'll show you the changes. Okay, good. Ken's already selected. I guess. Alright, so Ken's basically complete. There might be one thing I want to look into before, but it's not going to prevent me from releasing the demo, and that is still pending. Set the auto attack. Hold on. Let me change that. Training. No auto. There we go. Okay. This. The opponent can't wiggle out of it, no matter how many buttons he presses, and it works a little bit differently. So, like, especially I remember from Street Fighter 2, if you were to grab and not mash, instead of doing that, he would just hit him once and then he'd wait there and hold him. So it would be like he hits him like that, and then he just stays there and waits for you to hit the button again so that you can continue mashing. I think that's important because that cues the player into, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything. Maybe I should press a button or something. I have to do something. I'm just standing there. Something's wrong about that. And that was very smart for them to do. So if it automatically completes, you could be confused into thinking, oh, that's all he does? Well, that's kind of a weak throw. Like, why would you want to use that? Not knowing that you can mash it out. So I think it's important to at least get that part in, if I can, but it won't prevent me from releasing the demo. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. The demo's already out there with that in that, so it's kind of, I would like to change it, but it could wait till the next release after that. Anyway, this is the new bit for Ken. I redid the animation sequencing for Shoryu Rippa, so it's got a few new effects, and it's got a new look. So I think it looks a lot better than it did before. It's a bit faster, and it just kind of gives you the impression that, I don't know, it feels a little more forceful, a little more Ken-like. It's just so damn fast. So that's cool. And it comes, of course, as you can see, in the level 2 or level 3 variety. So you can use it pretty much in any condition. So I had sort of a dilemma in that, let's show this here. If you look at the damage, I set it at 500 even, which I believe is what it was before, if not close. Here's the problem. Actually, that is not much of a difference as I thought it would be. Did I not mash it out correctly? I got all 17 hits. Oh, there you go, 514. So I actually might increase that slightly. I might make it up to like 530, or roughly around there. So here's the thing. My dilemma was, because the Shinryuken can now pull you in like that, it means that you can do it based on here, and it will not whiff. So what's that, 539? 538. So if I buff up Shinryuken just a little bit, there'll be a bigger difference. But that was my initial dilemma that I had thought about when I added the suction to this move. So because that allows you to connect with it easier, which I think is still a good thing. So what do you do with Shoryurepa that does less damage? Okay, they both have level 2, so there's no difference there. You know? Actually, come to think of it. Is the damage disparity here? So 250. 274. Okay, I might have to adjust that. It might be... No, that's about right. It was 250, 274, right? Yeah. So it's not like 200, 274. That's okay. So that's about the disparity percentage that I expected the other one to be at. But either way, the idea is, so if one does more damage than the other and they'll both connect in the majority of cases, then what do you do? Because I believe the only case like that won't work, but that will, yeah. Yeah, and so that will only because I started crouching. Let's see. Yeah, so that won't do it. So that's one of the only cases that it really won't connect in. Because I think, yeah, doing that, I think. Oh, I don't think that will. Yeah, that'll whiff the first part of it. Which, okay, I mean it technically connects, but you probably don't want to bother doing that, you know, unless you're gonna do this instead, you know, and then go into it. If you're gonna do something like that, otherwise you wouldn't bother. You would just, you know, poke and get in a little farther if you can. So what to do here? Well, pay attention to Ryu's knockdown wake up timing, and then I got much more advantage on Shoryurepa, so I can run up and get stuff going again. Where this one, he can already roll away and be at a safe distance. So essentially the Oki, or the wake up pressure, is lost when you go for the higher damage option. Needs armor on Shoryurepa. Get out of here, Tim. Get out. Everything doesn't need armor. Shoryurepa is actually amazingly invincible in the first part, though, if you can see it quick enough. You notice that his... right here, his push box is very small so that you can land into it. And then the first hit is fully invincible. Only hits in the front, but it covers a wide range, so you can fall into it really easily. Yeah, there's the white is the suction or the vortex box, and then here, look at this. Oh no, it does hit on the right and left side. Okay, I did change that then. So look at that hitbox is beautiful. And then the entire part there is invincible until the first launching frame. So it's got quite a bit of priority on it. If you can, or you know, if somebody tries to do something, let's see, set Shoryu, yeah. So there's no way he's just gonna get sucked right into it. Hitbox Fighter EX. Hey, you're lucky I let you see him. A lot of games don't even do that. So the takeaway here is that in order to balance them, I did a couple different things. So yeah, this has a little more priority and a little more damage, but you basically have forfeited your pressure at that point. This one's fast, and it lets you come back in for more rushing. Nope, that was a little too far. So if you get them in a corner here, you've got time to set something up. That's not, I don't think it's a hard knockdown. I think? Maybe it is. Let me check. He was able to roll out of He was able to roll out of the Shinryuken recovery. So let's see. Fighters can hitboxes Shin or Shoyu Reppa. The final hit is hard knockdown. Okay. I'll leave it at that. But it gives you a bit of advantage to catch a mix-up. And the heavy one is also like that. And so I believe, just for the heck of it, looking at Shinryuken, I doubt the last one is a hard knockdown. No, it's not. Okay. And heavy is also not. Okay, that's fine. I can work with that. So there will be, oh, hey! Oh, Snap Klein. Oh, Snap Klein. Well, thank you, Oh, Snap Klein. I'll come up with I'm gonna tweak all the damage anyway, which is why I haven't really gone too heavy on adjusting it yet. That's why the heavy one's like only 8 points difference. But I'll rethink the. Oh, you're just falling in one after. Okina done? Thank you. Yeah, the predator with the 2 arms. Yeah, lock there. That's good. I didn't know they had that about on Twitch. That's good. Close enough. All right, sorry. Anyway, so I'm gonna make the damage disparity a little bit different and more pronounced. Oh, is that a max emote? Oh yeah. That's a JJ, right? Oh yeah, dude, bro. Okay, yeah. That's a max one. Nice. So I'm gonna tweak all the damage, like I said. Like everything's gonna get tweaked, and the amount of meter and all that shit that it gives you. I got a lot of that to do this week. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're excited. I'm targeting. Well, I say by the end of the month. Let's see, where are we now? 19th. I'll be honest, it's probably gonna hit sometime the first week of September with all the additional tweaks. So somewhere around this weekend or the following days from there is probably where the next public demo is going to hit. And then, so that's going to have Terry and Ken and all that. Oh, yeah, geez, I don't think I showed this either. So that pretty much finishes Ken, except for the grab thing that I told you that may or may not make it into this one. We'll beat up on Ryu. Power Charge EX got changed. So normally it used to cancel into stuff like this one does. But I changed that. So if I do this, I can't, I can't chant. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. Can't cancel into anything. Probably not even, yeah. And he goes too far to get anything, even with max cancel. So why did I do that? It's because of this. Oh. And now wall bounces. So why did I do that? Because it's got armor. So when we had the cancel before, you had to have a specific timing in order to get the next attack to come out. So that's fine with the EX was just like that, except when you get an armor hit, it changes the timing. And so if you didn't expect to get the armor hit and you input the cancel as if it were timed normally, it wouldn't come out. And vice versa, if you expected to delay your input to account for an armor hit, you wouldn't get it either if the armor hit didn't actually occur. So to mitigate this, I had to think about it. What can we do? So here, it doesn't matter if there's armor hit or not. Oh, he was too far away. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Doesn't matter if there's an armor hit or not, because you can't take action again until you've already seen what happened. So you're not having to cancel immediately. You get to see what happens and where you need to stand in order to continue the attack. That way there's no timing issue. It's all consistent, because you're going to have plenty of time to see where you bounce against the wall before you have to do your follow-up. So it completely eliminated that kind of thing. And also it looks cool, so there's that. Because then you can do stuff like this. And that's cool. So I killed two birds with one stone. I made it look cooler and function better, and I fixed that gameplay issue. So one thing, you can't use it full screen. It will not wall bounce. You have to be in the vicinity of a wall, and then you can do something with it. So it's not quite as potent as the donkey kick, but you can do quite a bit with it. So like you saw, you can do crazy shit like that, and that's fun. Put a little move in there, get a little extra damage, that kind of stuff. So what is it good for? Obviously, you have to use this. This actually has a juggle flag set on it now. So if you can do that with it, but you can't. Oh, I'm so used to actually doing it correctly. Hold on. Oh, damn. Here, let me get closer. Damn. Try just... Yeah, that doesn't work. There's no juggle flag on standing heavy punch or crouching heavy punch. You have to use... the uppercut. So that allows things like that. Otherwise, to be honest, follow-ups on this are pretty underwhelming without being able to do that. Because Terry doesn't have any air specials. He could do that, and that's it. Like, what are you gonna do? Without an EX, you can't really do much. Does Terry have more vocals than the others? Maybe only by the fact that he has more special weapons? But I wouldn't say that he necessarily has proportionally more than the other ones. So you can use this if they're close to the corner and you just like, screw it, get in there, buddy. You know, that's it. Oh shit. Like, get in that corner and stay in that corner. You can do that, so if you're really close to that. Or, serves the double purpose of, you're in the corner. Oop. Boom, I'm out, baby. Set me free. And that was one of the original reasons that I had it have armor. But I think it works better in both cases at this point. So his defensive capabilities aren't too overblown, since Terry's more of an offensive character. He gets a little bonus for doing it, you know, in an offensive capacity. And it's a good, it's just a good way to get more damage out of Terry. So since I adjusted the way that Power Charge, the normal version of Power Charge worked, and the way that it cancels, I wouldn't say that Terry felt necessarily underwhelming, but this definitely added a little bit of flavor that might have been missing from that. Actually, yeah, I can get something from that. You gotta be really careful where you are from the wall in order to get what you want. Let's see, you can get... Oh shit. Let's see, what's that combo again? Nope. Man, this one's a little tough. So instead of doing the run up this and then this, you can, if you charge partition correctly, you can get that, which does more damage. So you have to hold. Yeah, I'll show it the input. It's a little rough. You gotta, when you get to here, you gotta hold, and then you have to run. Well, while you're running, hold diagonal down forward, and then you can do this if you got the timing right. But yeah, you have the partition to charge because it's not gonna work otherwise. There you go, just like that. So what charge partitioning is, if you don't know, obviously if you charge, if you're a Guile player, you know, or just in general, Guile has to hold down or down back to do one of his attacks. And you go the other way, and then you press a button. But if you do it and then you let go, your charge is gone. It just goes right back to 0. Unless there's charge partitioning. And some of the Capcom games do have it. I believe Third Strike is a good example for that. So what does that mean? It means that I can hold down, build up my charge. When I stand up, it doesn't go away automatically. It just starts decreasing my charge over time, as opposed to raising it. So when you hold down, it raises. When you let go, it decreases, but it doesn't go away. So I can charge half here, step forward, and recharge the bit I lost, and then do the attack. So normally, you can't do that. Your charge would have been gone the moment you stood up. And so that gives you enough time between here. Shit. I start charging here, and then, well, I didn't do it correctly. And then when I get to this point, when he's falling down, and while I'm running, I'm holding down forward, which increases my charge. Then I can just do this and then get my thing. So if that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't hold it. So holding, run, hold, and then, well, I missed it, but you get the idea. And through that whole process, you build up enough charge to do the move. I do give a tolerance of, I think, 8 or 10 frames from the moment that you stand up to input the button and the up command. So there's a little tolerance there. And then you need 40 frames to charge, so it's not quite a whole second because the game's a little faster paced. I felt that that was the appropriate time to charge. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What could I have done there? Oh, he's dead. Terry just doesn't use normals, I guess? No, oh geez, Terry's normals are pretty good. Obviously we're using the sprites that came from the Pocket games, originally on Neo Geo Pocket, but like his limbs are long. Like incredibly long. So let me put Ryu in human mode for a minute. So like the punches, his punches is a little longer. But let's see, where's heavy kick? Look at Ryu's heavy kick. Look at Terry's heavy kick. It makes Ryu's look stubby, especially since he steps in with it. So yeah, he's got this kick, which lets him get out there good. He's got this kick. Look at this light kick. Like Ryu's is stubby as heck. You know, but look at Terry's. Like Terry's just got that range, man. He's just harassed all day long. He's got more special moves than any other person in the game, and that's typical of Terry. Terry's a special dude. A special dude. He can do a lot with his special moves. He's got power dunk, power wave, burn knuckle. Let's see. Set it back to the normal. Yeah, he's got power. You got burn knuckle, EX. He's got power wave, light, heavy, EX, which is special cancelable. Let's see. Yeah, so you can do that. Boom! Look at that. It's a bit more than quarter bar. He's pretty good. He's got some pretty good stuff, especially if you have an EX to spend. So EX Burn Knuckle, he's got Crack Shoot, Light and Heavy, and then the EX has a ground bounce on it, so you can extend your combos with that. Power Charge bumps them back, but of course you can cancel it into different attacks. So let's see if I can get this. Yeah, you can get Rising Tackle out of it, and you can get Power Geyser. Those are all the moves that you can get off that cancel. I'll hide that. Let's see, he's got Power Dunk, which causes a hard knockdown without using meter. On its own, it's horribly, horribly unsafe. Yeah, it just ask and get it beat out. That's actually funny that he traded with that. Wow, that's funny. Okay, that's funny. Was he crossing them up? That's hilarious. I don't know what I changed, but that didn't happen last time. That's funny. Wow. Alright, screw it. I'm leaving that in. That's just funny. It must. Wow, is it? It must hit really low then. Wait, let's see about that. Oh, because it's Ryu's push box that pushes him out of the way. That's funny. That's funny. Screw it. I'm leaving that in. That's too good. That's too good. That's too good. Okay, and the heavy one, you're definitely gonna get blown up. It's just too slow. That's funny. Screw it. I'm leaving it in. That's great. So Ryu has, or sorry, Terry has a bunch of other advantages that other characters don't, particularly against Shotos. So notice that Shoryuken is not fully invincible in its special version. It's pretty invincible. This entire part of Ryu is completely invincible, but there's a little bit at the feet that's not. Yeah, did they look like stars? I thought so too. Like Ryu was getting dunked in space. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if I'm gonna make the snowflakes disappear during the flashes. I thought about it, but I just haven't opened up the flash profiles to bother messing with it yet. So yeah, so what Terry can do is notice that Power Wave is causing a counter hit on Terry, or on Ryu's Shoryuken specifically. So the way I'm balancing the projectiles, the wave projectiles that are along the ground, they're going to be specifically good for blowing up Shoryukens. And they will still clash with Hadokens, so you can use them in the projectile war. Where Hadokens will get blown up by a Shoryuken. So there's a kind of almost like a trio of standardized SNK and Capcom abilities there, where some characters will be naturally better than others at dealing with specific types of attacks like DPs and shit. And so Terry's ground wave is, or ground-based wave, obviously it's called the Power Wave. Or you could say like Iori, same deal, where he shoots that little ground-based wave. He'll have that kind of advantage. Let's see, what else has Terry got? He's got Power Wave, he's got Burn Knuckle, he's got Crack Shoot, he's got Power Dunk, Power Charge. Is that it? Might be it. He's got so many, I keep forgetting all of them. Oh yeah, Rising Tackle. Duh. As you've seen. So he's got all that. He's got Power Geyser. Ooh. We're Geisa, level 2 and 3. Buster Wolf, level 2 and 3. And when you're in Power Max specifically, it's got Power Stream, which is the highest priority super in the whole game, and it OTGs. So there is no escape. You have to use 3 bars. How many buttons does it use? There are 4. Light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. Grab is light punch, light kick. Like third strike. Power Max is heavy punch, heavy kick. Armor Max is back, heavy punch, heavy kick. So EX attacks are done with like 2 punch buttons, 2 kick buttons. So 4 buttons in total with all the other macros. Right now I do not have macro buttons, so I don't have like a 2 punches, 2 kicks button or a heavy punch, heavy kick button, but those will be coming in the future very soon. I have to basically redo the entire input system to make that happen. And I've been meaning to make other changes along the way, so that will happen after this next public demo. It's actually one of the first things I'll be starting for that, since that's important. Yeah, so Power Stream, you have to use 3 bars and you have to be in Power Max to use it, but goddamn is it great. It's a projectile hit. Does shit tons of damage. Let's see. You can combo into it. And it OTGs, so if they're knocked down, it doesn't do quite as much damage in that type of environment, but it does definitely help. So you can do something like, if you're in the corner, you grab them, you got them. If you want to close out a round with that, by all means, blow all your resources. You cannot do that out in the middle of nowhere, though. They do fall too far for that, so it is a corner-only setup. Likewise, they recover too quick in that state. For the style. Well, and you know, if you're having trouble opening the guy up in the corner, you've got him there and you're harassing him, and he's just blocking everything. He's like, screw it, get out of here. Oh, I messed up there, but boom. So it gives you an extra little option to close out a round if it's really close. Just boom, gotcha, and that's it. So it's, in a way, it acts like Urian's Super and Street Fighter V, where you can grab them and then you can whack them. Do you think Urian can do it anywhere in the screen? Terry's is only in the corner. So that's pretty much the overview of Terry. He's got this, just special cancelable. He's got this kick, which pushes him back. It will also go over low projectiles. You notice that he hops off the ground. It'll go over low attacks and low projectiles. Currently, I believe Buster Wolf will also go over wave projectiles, but it won't go through Hadoken. And what was the other thing? That was a convention or something else. I lost it. I don't know. Anyway, Terry's fun. He's really fun. Oh, yeah, in armor mode. Let's see. That forward kick becomes armored. Everybody's got an armored, unique, or command normal, if you want to call them that, in that mode. You still take the damage, but you can kind of get, it's kind of like get me out of the corner situation. Of course, Terry's got the ability to do that with EX as well. But, boom. Now I'm out. That's basically the use of it. Yeah. Back knuckle, man, I tried to do it without special cancel, and I'm like, it just doesn't, there's no reason to use it. Like, it's really good, so that you can do You can do stuff like that. Like, that was too good. Like, having this as a follow-up was too good not to have it. And I'm like, yeah, we're keeping that. That's gotta be in. It's just too good. It's a lot of fun. Boom! Let's go! Yeah, it's too fun. It had to be in there. Especially super good for confirming into power charge, which then just, yeah, you get the idea. You can also use it, one of the only moves that will cancel and actually hit with heavy burn knuckle. You can't do that with the other moves. There's just not enough time. And that's consistent with most forms of Terry, even in the King of Fighters and Fatal Furies. He can't combo into, or he can't cancel into heavy burn knuckle. However, this is one of the exceptions. So you can do that, or let's see, near the corner, you can get another white burn knuckle after a max cancel, and get Buster Wolf. So there's a lot of stuff. Actually, if you're in the corner, I think you can just straight up get. Whoops, hold on. Don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, you could just straight up get Power Geyser. So that helps. Buster was more of a, you know, you don't have the corner to get him in Power Geyser, which does more damage. So Buster Wolf is your long range thing, and like, it goes far. That's a full screener. It is invincible for the first 5 or 6 frames, so if you time it right, you could probably go through a Hadouken or a ground wave. Something like that. All sorts of fun stuff. So Terry will be launching with the new public demo coming in about, what was it, a week and a half, 2 weeks? Yeah, so we'll say, yeah, 1, 2. We'll say most likely about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5, somewhere there. So just keep an eye out for that. It's one of those, you know, I can only work on it when I can, and it'll be done when it's done kind of thing, so I hate to set a date and not meet it. And, yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. Oh, I did add the smoke effect back into Rising Tackle. I can't believe I didn't notice it was gone. I tweaked a lot of Terry's moves, animations, and of course, that. So, a lot of changes. A lot. The font here has been corrected, and we've got the Transcontinental Railroad name now that there's 2 versions of the stage that are pretty much the same. Got icons for everything. No more missing icons and stuff. And that's pretty much it for the gameplay updates, I think. So I do have, yeah, this stage will be in the demo. I'm starting to, messed that up. That was cool though. I got to see the clash. Boom. Love that clash. Oh, shit. Come on. Nope. I disabled all the stages that aren't going to make the demo at this point, so there are a few unfinished ones, of course. Which leads us to, I guess, the subject of the stream, other than the update, is getting the Osaka stage done. So let me actually reactivate that. Where are we? Yeah, let's close these out. So stage table. I know, Osaka's a good stage. It just looks cool. I've got plans to alter it over time, but for now I'm just gonna throw it in as it was in Match of the Millennium for the most part, with a few tweaks. Let's see. There it is, Osaka. So we'll reactivate that. And we can go to it. I do have to add some NPCs in some stages, but if I can't get to that, it will just ship without it. Oh, Terry. There it is. And there she is. So there are a couple issues. I did fix the parallax issue, so that helps. But if you get to the top of the screen, I believe, yeah, there's a gap there. So we have to fill that in. I was gonna do super, but I didn't have any. So that's number one. The running man here also is missing some frames of animation. So as a lot of you know, I have Match of the Millennium on an actual Neo Geo Pocket. And so you see that pattern of the things that go up there? There's actually more to that pattern in the beginning. He actually cycles through more full frames, and so we'll just have to... I'm not going to bother ripping them, because I can just recreate them. But we'll just throw that together, a few more animation frames, and then see how that comes out. And I think that'll work. But yeah, we definitely have to address the stage being blank on top. I redrew the stage like 2 times now with different offsets, and well, yeah, that's for that. I think it's because I lowered the background a little bit so that you could see the signs better without it having to scroll. And I pushed the background, this part, down as far as I could with the perspective, I think. I don't know. You think I could get away with just a couple more pixels to push him down? It did look a little weird. We can do that real time if you want to see it. I'm going to put this up here and close these. Yeah, what's that? I need to add hierarchy. It's a little hard because the floor is pretty shaded at this point. And we might be able to adjust that, but... So I can move it down a little bit if that looks better, because then you get more of the city kind of look. What do you think, Larry? Do you think that breaks the perspective too much, or do you think that's okay? Let's say negative 1.3. So this, do you think that's too low? Or do you think that works out all right? Since you're here, it's decent. Could it be better? I just kind of feel like I'm in a tug of war here between, you know, breaking the look of the floor versus, you know, getting to actually see the background. I would cut out the dether line at the bottom. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So we can do that in real time as well. Let's add project tab. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Game. Stages. Osaka. Just the... Yeah, the bridge. I do have the original version here, but I'll edit the real-time version for now. Dither. Not Dether. I used to call it Dether all the time. I'm sorry. I'm a retard. I can't do nothing right. Alright, for my own sanity's sake, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fill this on a new layer. Oh. New? Ah, it's not the Photoshop way. Alright, hold on. What's a shortcut for that? There is no one? There's no shortcut for new layer. Oh, that's weak. Alright, I'm gonna put that below, and so what I'm gonna do is just cut this and repaste it with transparency. So that way I can adjust things without having to move the bottom layer here. Okay, so here's... Oh man. Do you think just cutting the whole bottom layer all the way? Like this whole part here? Or I was thinking maybe cut like one off of here and then like one off of here and then move it up. Something like that. You think just kill the whole bottom line in entirety? Oh, we can see what this looks like in the actual game, by the way. Get a view. Should update automatically. Yeah. So here's the... Try that first, then try the other. Let's do half and half so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now you can see both. Here's where they are here, and then there's the adjusted with that one line still there. And then of course over here is the normal. I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I kind of don't like either of them, quote unquote. But I don't think that we can encroach too far on this second. Like, I kind of scale them all back, I think, a little bit, ideally. But then the NPCs are there, so that's going to make it really hard to edit, at least in the short term. What do you think, Tim? I kind of feel like if there's any texture near their feet, it looks a little strange, but I don't know. Or there's a third case where you can just cut that too. It's okay, I guess. I don't know. Well, the side version will require you to move the darker section too. That's what I was thinking. I kind of feel like the way that the lighting should work in this section, that you'd have to essentially move this up, and then and then this one has to go up too. Match that up. I feel like that's the better solution overall. But you gotta be really careful because of this dude's feet and shit. Which even they extended out the background to encompass that. I kind of feel like that's the better look in some ways. Only because everything's been kind of scrunched down. Also you don't have much of a choice to do it. Kill the dude. Kill the dude. No savage right here. Yeah, just murder that guy. He's in the way. Kill him. I don't know. feel like we could add more texture to the 4 later on too in other versions. I really do feel like this is probably the best so far. So I don't know, screw it. Let's see what we can do. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's get rid of this. Oh, wrong layer. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to take how we want to do this. What's a grid look like? It's just 2 up from there. I'm thinking we'll just put this on its own layer, move it up, and just adjust it as we need to. So we'll omit the dude's feet so they don't get cut out. And this gives us an idea of what else might be here. So that dude's foot's pretty close. Hi. I really feel like this needs to be adjusted too, but I guess we'll get to that when we get to it. So we gotta... Okay, everybody's feet are cut out. Looks like it. So I'm going to cut that and make it a new layer. So we can basically push this up. Cut this. How does this look on? In terms of alignment, okay, it's right at the verge of their feet on the left one. Well, I'll be honest, this one's not too terrible either. So what I'm concerned about here. Let me do it with this. I guess the only thing I'm concerned about is the depth of the foremost line. For perspective purposes, should probably be larger than the rest of them. So that would mean also that it encroaches back on the feet here. So if we look at the layers, this one's territory is how much? 6 tall, but this one's only 4 tall in a way. So you could, let's take the grid off, you could like step this up one. Let's see what layer is that. Oh, geez, the other layer here. Oh, okay, something. Hold on, let me get them all on the same page here. Would I move them from here, right? Would it be like that, I guess? Oh wait, no, not exactly. I didn't take this out yet. They're about the same. Yeah, okay. Alright, let me just cut from here. Yeah, cut from here. I will put it on this layer so we can work with it. And then for now, do that. And just make sure all the layers are cut evenly here. I'll just recrop it in place. We'll save that. Alright, just take a look at what that looks like. That's not terrible. We'll chat about it later there. That looks pretty good throughout the stage. So again, my other concern here is that this particular layer is probably too big perspective-wise, so it needs to be chopped down just by one. Assuming that's gonna... Man, I don't like this because they're gonna be touching, but we can adjust from here as we go. Like, I kind of don't like that these are touching. It might not be terrible. Okay, so that does two things. One, the feet are a little more clear. And then you notice how, like, the depth kind of scales down as you go back. And so that gives you more of a perspective. You know, if you shade something like... let's just black here. If you shade something like this... Oh, wrong shortcut. Yeah, get a little closer. If you shade something like this, you don't get much perspective out of it. It looks very flat. Jam alert? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Iori's theme in 14. Oh. Like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, whoa! Like, I was blown away. I was expecting a remix or something. And then I got way more than I bargained for. So when you do the perspective here, if you say did 2 on here, you do 3 here. And then, like, 5 here. Like, you get that sense that there's a progression going back. Or even more here. Like, so it's just the back that's being shadowed. You know, as opposed to an even step doesn't look right. Even if you do extend this part here. Let's see, that's about there. The back still doesn't look quite right. It's better, but it doesn't look quite right. So if you scale them this way, you get more out of it. And you can, you know, increase this a bit if you've got more room to work with. And then they cover extra layers with dithering. So let's see, this is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can dither these. And I'll just, for brevity, I'll copy this. Actually, probably what I would do is take one off the top, then push this up 1. So this is 2, 3, and this will have to be 4. Or most likely should be 4. 1, 2, 4, 5. A little hard to see with the circle in the way. You know, if you do something like that, you might want to step it a little more intelligently. But now you've got more layers to work with and you haven't used any other colors. And that's a much better look than something like this. And so the scale of these, like this one has to be the smallest and so on. That's what I was worried about here. So this is 4. This is effectively 2, 2. This one's actually 3. So I want to move this layer back 1. And then this is 3 up here, which I don't know if I care enough about because it also gives like an outline to the back. But we'll wing it. We'll see what we can get. It's just yeah. So theoretically, you want to push this back 1. This one's tough. You could do that. Move or shorten the dude. That's what I'm wondering. If we need to move the dude. I mean, he could stay here with his feet. Does his feet go down even farther? Of course they do. So he goes this far. And I think, yeah, okay. So that's where he is. That's not terrible. Like, it kind of works. You can extend it out for him. But having this only Well, it's 3 here. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. Let's get all the dude feet. Dude feet sounds like an emote. Dude feet. Let's get all the dude's feet. Alright, so it's the right side visible here. And then we'll kind of see where we stand. Thank God for Unity being able to load this in real time. Yeah, exactly, dude feet. Oh, this one actually doesn't look right. Oh, I didn't do him at all. Okay, that would be why. So he looks a little strange. Okay, should be better. Yeah, there we go. Let's get his feet here. Okay. Oop. Trying to run. My mechanical keyboard, my gaming keyboard broke. So now I got a keyboard that can't press more than 2 buttons at the same time. So I'm trying to run and do a dodge roll. And it makes it a lot harder. Makes it a hell of a lot harder. I did, because I originally, when I was building it, I didn't have that gaming keyboard. So when I tested the keyboard controls, I did notice that was a problem. So I actually put in a 1 frame delay, so that if you hold forward and you press the 2, light and heavy punch, or light punch, light kick, and then you let go forward, it will accept that. But you have to do it in that sequence. You have to press down the buttons before you let go of the other one, and that'll give you a nice little 1 frame tolerance on getting all the stuff out. So you should be able to perform everything in the game like EX attacks using that kind of timing. Anything that requires 2 hits. Or more than 1 button, rather. So, I was gonna say, he's gotta hit me here. You can do that as well. Oh, Jesus, before I forget, I changed things up a little bit with the push block. You can't see it here because you can't push block projectiles. But if Terry hit me with a physical attack, it would have pushed him back. This is actually very important, so give me 1 sec to explain this. Terry, let's make you do a different thing. I don't know. Let's make him... I'm gonna do the back knuckle. Back fist. There we go. Hey, hey! Who's that? Oh, it's a raid. Well, thank you. Thank you for the host. Screamin' Red Skull. Okay, so push block pushes them away. Kind of get the heat off you. Well, don't do it too early. If you do happen to activate early, you can still block. Even in the recovery of the activation. You'll still be able to block. You can actually even check throws in that, or you should be able to. Last I knew you could. That's something I still have to test before I ship it. But the idea is, yeah, get them off you, kind of thing. So I used to have a roll variant of that, but I had removed it. So the problem was that either the roll, the way it's calibrated to coexist with this. Because when he did throw a projectile, you notice that he doesn't get pushed back with that. The idea was that the roll would be used when someone hits you with a projectile, and you block it, and then you can kind of get through it. I mean, you can always roll through it manually if you want, or anything for that matter. But the thing was, when you used it up close, it was basically, if the other character didn't do a light punch or a light move, you could roll behind them and then get like a full punish combo, and it was just a little too much for just being what it was. It was just too much. So either it really sucked at close range, in which case it was too slow to use as a projectile thing to get through it, to then do something useful. Or it was godlike close up, and I couldn't find a good balance there, so in the meantime I have removed it. Oh yeah, and Ken's command normal is this one that's armored, by the way. So that mechanic has been removed. If I can think of a way to reincorporate it, I will, but I have a feeling that it's just kinda... it's a waster one. And that happens in game dev. Some stuff you find, oh, that doesn't really work out. Alright, well, unfortunately we have to change or remove it, and that's... like, if you look at some of the stuff like Street Fighter 4's Omega Mode, and all the stuff that they did there, that's a good indication of, you know, what happens with that kind of thing. There's a lot of moves left on the table, you know. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I thought I heard the thing there. Kaiju Live has followed. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, so now it's just the push block, which was... I think it's pretty much all you need just to get people off your back anyway. So if they do throw a projectile, then okay, you can nullify the projectile's next couple hits and nullify the chip damage off of it. Oh, thank you. Oh, in case you didn't know, I'm targeting within the next couple weeks to get another version out. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll obviously let everybody know when that's up. Yeah, like that. I made sure the cross-up Tatsu, Ryu's will knock you away, but Ken's will not. At least not right now, unless it becomes a balance issue. But if you land it, you have enough hit stun to do something else. Damn it, I keep screwing it up. I'm terrible with this kind of stuff there. Oh, and I fucking screwed the follow-up up. Oh, I'm trying to get this after it. You have to be really precise with when you land. Oh man, I screwed up. Because I want to do this and then cancel into Hadouken, so I end up... I'm pressing this too early and it's not coming out, and then you just see this. There we go. Boom. And you can confirm that with a max and get something out of it. So, anyway, just that note about the push block roll cancel has now been removed. And it's just an unfortunate casualty. But that's how it goes. It's also the risk, like, people see it and like, oh, why'd you remove it? That sucks, blah, 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 put it back in, this and that. I'm like, well, it doesn't fit with the game. And I understand the disappointment there. You don't want things to be taken away, but early in the game's life cycle, where you're still figuring out what works and what doesn't, it's actually very common. Very, very, very common. There's only so much you can plan for. It was originally performed once you activated a push block, you would hold forward and you would roll. And actually, I believe I can just reactivate it since the characters are already animated for it. If you're really curious about what it looked like, just keep in mind that this has been removed and it will not be put back in. At least not currently. Let's see. Next mode here. So it was this. Oh, you saw Ken's kick frame there because I was testing out. I put that frame in the animation so I could test out timing, so I knew when it ended. So there, you would have push block, can't do anything with projectiles, but you could roll through a projectile. Oh, problem was, either it really sucks because it's too slow to do anything in any situation, or it's freaking godlike, and you can use it to completely punish anything, even like a heavy punch, up close. And it didn't seem like there was an acceptable middle ground. As you can see here, I was experimenting with making it laggier. So I'm pretty sure if he threw a heavy punch, he would recover before I could get anything in him. But that means that he also has time to set up a meaty if it's too slow. He's got time to do a grab, and I wouldn't necessarily be able to detect that if he was still busy with the roll. Like, you see all the problems with that. It just didn't work out in testing. The input's not the problem. It's the length of the animation. If it's too slow, then doing this... Oh, hold on. Did I disable it again? No, it's still there. I'm just not doing it right. Then you notice Terry has recovered before I did, so he can set something up, and he can blow me up for even attempting it. Well, yeah, you can just do a roll manually, sure, that's fine. But you can't do it out of block. You have to wait till block's gone and then do it, and then Terry's already recovered at that point, so it doesn't matter. It didn't make sense to do that. But if it's any shorter, and you have advantage, then you can literally punish basically any move except the light punch. And then it's like, okay, well I got my full max combo coming right for you, and all you did was throw out a normal that I confirmed, you know, because you could do it in the middle of a block string. So say he hits you with like 2 light punches and throws like a power wave or something, and you're like, oh, screw that, buddy. It's like, oh, you're dead. And that's it, you know what I mean? It's just too much. It was either godlike or it was so shitty that it wasn't worth having. And so I'm like, there's no reason to have it in that case. It just isn't. It's just a frame advantage problem. So, sure, yeah, it's disabled now again. So it was something that I added after the fact that wasn't originally designed for Armor Max mode, so I kind of expected that something like that could be the case, but it was never, no, once you're, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. You couldn't get a full max combo because you're in, Armor Max, but, you know, let's see, even, oh, hold on. Even in Power Max, if you're fully loaded, look at that. Look what you can do. Like, that's a big oopsie. It was so potent that there'd be no reason to use almost any of the other cancels. You would always want to be roll canceling, and for that reason, it was just too much. Well, no, if you do a neutral activation, you don't get any bonus off of that. It's just a neutral activation. You get more time in the mode, but you don't get any kind of cancel or a special ability property. So it's only on hit, or in this case, block, where you would push the opponent back. So the cancels, you're canceling block stun, or you're canceling, you know, your hit stop or hit stun. That was the idea. Or only on projectile Amax activation? I don't see, like, you can just do this and you can run. Like, you don't want to roll there, it doesn't get you anything. So that doesn't work either. Believe me, I thought about it for a long time. I don't see any solution to it. It's just a frame advantage problem. Either it's godlike, or it's so shitty that it doesn't work. And like, if you make it shitty, like, it's shitty in every situation. There's no reason to use it on a projectile. There's no reason to use it up close. There's no reason to use it in almost any case whatsoever that you wouldn't just use a normal roll for. And so it's like, no, it's just useless then. And if it's not useless, it's godlike to the point that you don't want to use anything else. So it's like, no, all right, we're not gonna do that then. Why would you? Oh, Amax. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can do that, sure, but the advantage has to be really high. Like, you have to have really, really good frame advantage to be able to tank an incoming projectile and then roll through it and then still be safe to do other stuff. And if you have that amount of advantage on it, that extremely high advantage, that if you do it close and he does something, anything, basically, that's not a light punch, it's like, no, he's done. He's just done. He's toast. It's one or the other. You just can't have it both ways. Either it's really good advantage or it's really shitty advantage. And if it's really shitty, there's no use for it. And if it's really good, then it's godlike. And there really isn't an in-between there. It's either useless or it's godlike. And until I can figure out any other form of nuance, that's kind of it. That's just how it goes. And it happens. It just sometimes mechanics don't work out. What's the current interaction between AMAX activation and projectiles? You don't take chip damage off of multi-hitting projectiles. That's pretty much it. So, it's better exemplified for Ryu. Let's put Ryu up on the stage. You take the chip damage from the initial hit, but any subsequent hits will not do any chip damage. So I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Just gotta make Ryu do Shinsho, or not Shinsho, Shinko. Yeah. So Ryu, Shinko, Hadoken will do level 3. So normally here, you see the chip damage that it did to me up on the top left. What's that? That creates a lot of lag. Look at the chip damage up here. So the advantage here, no more chip damage. There was a little bit from the first hit, but that's it. You can then block the rest of it. I wouldn't say that it's parried because you do not get an advantage, a frame advantage on it. But you do get that chip advantage. And you still have enough time to run up and do something anyway, so it is what it is. But that's it. There's no positional advantage to doing it. You don't knock anything away. And there's no stun advantage. So you recover at the same rate. But you don't take any chip damage. And so if you're really low on health and they try to chip you out with a super, you can totally use it to save your ass. And then do whatever. Make it fling the projectile back? No way. That was brought up before, but I think that's way too much. Way too much. Especially with like a super or something. No. So what else can... So, like, say... Then, for physical attacks, you know, it works to push them away. So you have that sort of dichotomy with it. So it's not quite as useful for projectiles, but it still has a use. And then for melee attacks, it's, you know, you completely take them out. Let's see. For really, really slow attacks, you can actually punish some of them. But oh, there we go. But see, like that, he's got time to recover. But at the same time, so does Ken have time to recover. So it really does reset neutral in that situation. But by the time you've both recovered, you know, there's space enough so that you can see the next assault coming, the next move. I did fix the black pixel. I specifically tagged you on Discord to show you that I fixed the black pixel. Right here. It's gone. See? You didn't even pay attention. JK. So I think the push block is and has been working as intended. And I think that works. Let's see. I'm trying to get a super here to see, make sure the advantage is. Yeah, you can get him with that. That's an unusual case because Ryu is actually moving forward with that move, so you can punish one of those. But not everything can be done with that. If you don't want to push them, then you can activate early, or don't use it. That's pretty much it. Then you can punish it. Or push them away. The idea for this is not much of a punish thing. It's a get me the hell out of the corner, create some space, so I've got room to work with here. That's its real true purpose here. So let's see. Let's make him do standing. Just just heavy punch. Okay. Let's make him do like heavy punch. See how far he gets pushed back. So if you're taking corner pressure, it relieves some of that pressure. And obviously they can advance again, but it gives you some room to work with. And then you also have the armor attack too, for a short time. Because again, when you do a cancel like that, it does decrease the amount of time you have to spend in armor max. Like see how far it's, or how fast it's going down. But if you do it without a cancel out in the middle of nowhere, it goes down half as fast. So you have twice the amount of time in the mode if you don't use the cancel. Or you can look at it, the time that you spend in the mode gets cut in half if you use cancel. And that's true for attack as well. So see, it goes down really slow there, but if I do it here, it goes down much slower. Or, I mean, sorry, it goes down fast here. You can see it going down fast. But out here, much slower. Yeah, half the amount of time when you use the cancel. So you gotta kind of like weigh the options. Do I want the mix-up or the combo to get, you know, boosted there? And even using the super does make it go away too. That ends your max mode in both of them. Same deal. That does end your max mode. So you've got decisions to make there. You know, do I want to use the max cancel and completely just blow it to get my super in? Or do I want to use it to use my ability, my max mode ability, for a short amount of time? Or do I want my max mode ability for a long amount of time so that I can continue to use it? You know, for a while to create, for Ken's case, create more pressure. See how long it took to expire. Or, you know, I get in, I do my stuff, and then I decide, oh, I want to use my super to get that extra damage, and that's it. And then it goes away. So you got a lot of decisions there, and the same thing applies here. You know, do I need it to do these armor attacks? How long do I need to get out of the corner? So this gives you a good head start here. You don't have to worry about having to get a hit. So if you activate it ahead of time and then you rely on the armor to get out, you know, you have to actually make that hit. And this is not safe on blocks, so you can see. Oh, well, maybe not with that. But if he did a white punch, he would have certainly got me. Yeah, same advantage, I would say. So if you see him do that, then he can do a Shoryuken, or he can do a white punch, or probably even a crouching medium kick. You get that. Yeah, can't do that. That's unsafe. So you get the idea, hopefully. And so I don't feel that the roll fits into that. It doesn't have a roll, so to speak, to use a pun. But yeah, if you don't want to push him, then just don't use it during block stun. Just use it outside. And now you don't have to worry about it. So you can do it before. Like I said, if you miss... Even if you mistime it, you'll still be safe. Because you can block... You can cancel out of the recovery into block when you activate it. And I believe you can also tech. You should be able to tech. At one point that was true, but I do have to make sure that that's right. Oh, that's not gonna work. Nope. What? Get this counter hit, yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah, specials collide, they do that. Say, what I'd really like to do is show that you can get a counter hit on that, but he doesn't, his counter flag is not set when he falls down, when he goes up. Oh, well, anyway. So, I guess back to Osaka, but that, a very important change, I think. I wanted to make sure that I explain why that was removed. I know people get touchy about removing or nerfing things. And understandably, you don't want the game to get dumbed down, but I really think it just doesn't fit. Which is unfortunate. I tried my best to get it working, but I just don't see a place for it. Which character are you guys going to work on next? That is a secret! It is a secret. We will announce that after the Terry demo goes out. And so, I just don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So once the Terry demo's out, then we'll plan an announcement for the next character. I just want to focus on Terry. It's a Secoret. Yeah, a Secoret. Secoret. Let's see. What about the 4 now? I think the 4 is pretty good. I think it looks pretty decent. It's not perfect, but it's not going to be anyway. For now. Until it gets redone, so... It's a secret to everyone. Well, except for me. It's not a secret to me. Not even Tim knows, I think. I don't know, maybe Tim knows. It's possible that Tim knows. Yeah, let's see. Ah! We're gonna get that run cancel. Oh, let's get still. There we go. I like that one. There. If you get a counter hit on the wake up, you can do other stuff. Unless you change your mind, you know. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, no, okay. You probably know then. I don't believe I've changed my mind on it in quite a bit. But that'll still hit. It's not ideal, but... Ah, I messed it up. Oh, wrong guy. Ah! After this, on the counter hit, get that last one, you can do this. And so it's... This Tatsu gives a hard knockdown, so you know what's... You know, if you can internalize the timing, you'll be alright. Yeah, like that. And I missed a cancel, but you get the idea. Roster is currently imbalanced, by the way. Yeah, I know. 2 Capcoms and 1 SNK, what's up with that? Maybe that'll change really soon. Who knows? we're the ladies, so there's that too. When's Jago? You mean from Killer Instinct? That's a little out of the scope of this. I want to stick to things that fit the aesthetic of Street Fighter and King of Fighters. One's full gore. Fine one's Goro. No Mortal Kombat characters. I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat, unfortunately. Not a fan of that at all. I would say that other characters from like Fighting EX Layer would probably be a candidate if someone wanted to do sprites for that. You know, potentially something from like Tekken might fit. But I want to stick to that kind of Street Fighter-esque feel to it. So King of Fighters obviously fits that role. You know. Fighting EX Layer, I mean, all those characters are from Street Fighter EX anyway. So it is what it is, you know. And in Tekken, of course, like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, those two universes blend in so close that they might as well be the same thing. They've got very similar power style, very similar, or I should say power scale. So what I mean by that, it's like, you know, if you consider, like, Darkstalkers has a lot of magic and shit, but Street Fighter really doesn't deal with magic. Like, Tekken doesn't really deal with magic. They'll deal with spirituality, like ki and that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, like Devil Jin can do some crazy shit, but we've also seen Akuma like battle a volcano. Okay, it's within the same realm of power cap. So like how high the characters are in power and that kind of thing. And of course Fighting EX Layer really follows the Street Fighter style anyway. And then yeah, like I say, Tekken. I don't know what else would really apply. I would say that Killer Instinct is more of a monster fighter, so that probably doesn't really fit the aesthetic. I want to make an ultimate crossover for fun in 2D Fight Maker, and if I do Mortal Kombat characters, I will be there, but they won't play like... Oh, they will be there, but they won't, yeah, play like Mortal Kombat. Well, that's the other thing, too. Now, I think Mortal Kombat 10? Or is it Injustice had Capcom-style controls as an option? So, if you're going to do that, you might want to look into that, where I think there's like hold back to block and stuff. Like, there's an option for that. It's one of the NetherRealm games. You could look to that for inspiration to see what they thought the moves and stuff would have been in that style. Might be a good resource for you. Oh, but that's it. Everything else is pretty much the same. Like I said, I don't play them, so I don't know. I just heard that they implemented a quote-unquote Capcom style control system. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is then. But yeah, not a big fan of Mortal Kombat, so I wouldn't put any of that in there. We do have a secret guest character lined up, and I believe the character has not been in a game yet. But it was a special request for someone that I know. However, a lot of you probably know another character that this person made. But I can't tell you who that is, so that ruins the secret. But just know that we will have a special guest character, which I believe will be his actual game debut. But the other character this person has created is pretty well known, actually. So we'll see how that goes. You and my secrets. Yeah. Me and my secrets. So that'll be the 9th character. So we got the 8 you can see on the character select screen. Obviously, they're shadowed out, but yeah, obviously that's Guile's hair, that's Chun, Kyo, Iori, and Mai. But there will be a 9th, and that will be that guest character. And then after that, we'll see where we go from there. I don't want to plan too far in advance, because who knows? Switch it up, Terry. Anyway, so Tim, what do you think about the 4 in its current state? I think it's not bad. We can kind of just leave it at this, perhaps. It is a little even, but I don't know. Himitsu? Himitsu. Who the hell is Himitsu? Okay, alright, I'll Google it, but I'm gonna go to this off camera. Himitsu. Who's that? Himitsu? I don't know, I'm not really getting much. It's like some shoujo shit? I don't know. I don't know who Mitsu is. Oop, almost killed the playlist. Trying to close the window. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Tim, the 4. What do you think about the 4 in its current state? I think it's okay-ish. It's not perfect, but it might be good enough for this. At least they're not on the dithered part. They're not standing on the dithered part anymore, which I think is important, at least. Well, that don't work. That used to work, but the range changed. I don't like the dark dither pixel near the lighter areas. Oh, I mean like where the dude's standing? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair point. I could... Let's see. We have the right layer, yeah. I could do this. If this helps to alleviate the problem. And see what that looks like. I guess I would probably also wax that one. So wax that. Yeah, wax on, wax off. Let's try that. Oh, I'm sorry, the placement changed back to. That's why it looks like you're not standing on it anymore. Shoot. Hierarchy. What did I have it? Like -1.2? Or no, I had 0.3. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this is the placement. I don't know. That's 0.2. 0.2 probably actually works just a little bit better, considering how far those guys are off. I don't know. Then at least his feet aren't tied to the next layer down too. So, as you said, having that pixel gap there helps a bit. Oh, that didn't go as planned. Get it. I'm trying to pay attention to it as I'm fighting back and forth to see kind of how the player's relationship to the gradient really is. It'd be funny if the second group of guys were flipped to face off against the other group. I think the idea is that they're all supposed to look toward the center because they're looking at the fight. Oh, yeah, I guess they're not though, are they? They're not flipped. They're all looking to the right, which is dumb actually, so let's change that. Let's get on that layer. And let's flip these guys around. So these guys on the right are fine. These ones, not really. Actually, what I might do... there. Alright, I'm gonna merge the layers. So this makes it easier to edit this. We can undo that merge if we need to. But yeah, so that these guys... Oh, hold on. Okay, let's do this one. There we go. So these guys gotta turn around. These guys sitting in the back look like they could be looking in either direction. So I'm not gonna bug them, but I really think that these ones here need to turn around. This guy actually looks like he's okay, but and let's see how he looks flipped. I might have to adjust it a little bit. He looks okay. It looks like he could still be looking at it, but this guy definitely wasn't looking like he was looking at it because his head's really tilted. So let's pretty up the dither here a little. Smooth that over. The easiest way to do that would be this. Do that. Yeah, this one came out a little wonky too. So there. The right side came out okay. Oh, a little bit weird. Let's nix that one. There. That looks okay. It's pretty decent. And yeah, and those guys look okay. So there we go. Now they're flipped. Hooray! Yeah. So you'll see that they're. It would be nice if we had like NPCs that are drawn better, like that were more. I tried to do this a little bit, but I'm not too great at drawing. So I would have to spend a lot more time on it to get them right. But I do have a, let's see, bridge no NPCs. What do you say? And then the bridge. Oh yeah, no NPCs, and then yeah, here. So I tried to draw them in like the actual style, but I don't like the faces. They don't look too great. But I didn't spend very much time on it. I'd have to spend a few hours to try to figure out how to make them look a bit better there. So you see, like this guy, I used to. There, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna use red. Like this guy here. Oh, jeez, on the wrong layer still. Here, this guy here is this guy here, and then this guy here obviously is this one here. So if I do have separate sprites, what I could do is like make him turn around. Oh, it moved him that way. What I could do is make him turn around to look at the other direction. But yeah, and that's a stretch goal. We'll put it that way. That's not within the scope of doing for this demo. But I sort of don't like how the background characters aren't really in the same style as the fighters. In any other fighting game, they would be the same looking kind of style. So I feel like they could definitely be changed. I get why they did it this way, because it was probably a memory constraint, and it also defocuses them a little bit from the rest. But since we have more color to work with here, we can get away with actual NPCs in the background. So if we also made like a cameo character in the background, they would probably look like this, you know, the fighter sprite. They wouldn't look necessarily like that. You wouldn't be able to tell any detail on them. And to kind of prove that point, I made a Yuki sprite. That's Kyo's girlfriend. And I made a Felicia sprite. Actually, let me take away this one. So like say if like you got a knockdown in the corner and she would like pop out from behind, like she was hiding on the back of the bridge or something. But you wouldn't want to see her, you know, looking like one of these dudes. You would want to see, hey, what does Felicia look like in Pocket style? You know? So you'd want to see it like this. You wouldn't want to see it all muddy. So I think going forward, if we could get the resources together to make all the NPCs look, you know, kind of like the fighters do, then that would work. And I've done some of work to that end. I've tested out some Metal Slug characters on here, this stage. The daytime version has Marco, but the nighttime version has Fio in the background. And you wouldn't want to see Fio a muddy mess. You want to see Fio, what's Fio look like in Pocket style, you know? That's what people want to see on this kind of thing. So I drew her at a slightly reduced scale. I think she's 80 or 85%. Because she's in the background, she's got to be a little smaller. And then she has a much more decontrasted palette. So she's got less contrast. So like Ryu stands out, of course, on the background. Because he has to for visibility and gameplay reasons. You don't want the background to be in the way of that. And so she's got like a desaturated palette to help her not be seen as a fighter or an active element in the fight. And I think that works out well. I think it actually looks pretty good that way. I mean, pose aside, where she looks like she's just kind of in a victory pose, but I think it works fairly well. And I'd like to see all the NPCs taken to that level, if possible. I'm trying to get the... There. That's tough to get full screen. But you can do it. Or Ryu, or Terry's can't do that. Fio! Yeah, Marco's in the other one. I'll show him real quick. I actually did him on stream a month ago or so. So yeah. Marco's over here. His palette could be done up a little better. I did Fio's after. So Marco was the real first test run. He looks okay. Like, I would like him to not be in that pose most of the match. Like, say if once a KO is reached, that he gives like the thumbs up as kind of like the, hey, good job kind of thing. You know, and do something like that. But that was just the sprite from Match of the Millennium that he had already, so it was the one for the basis of this test. But I don't think his palette meshes with the background quite as well as Fio's did, but he was the original test and Fio was the refined version, so there's still a lot of time, of course, to make those kind of tweaks, so that's fine. So that's where I want to go with the background art style. You know, get to the point where we can have like real cameo type characters in the background without looking too weird. So anyway, back to Osaka. And I have to redo the alignment again. So let's see, what looks good for that alignment for... I did what, 0.2, 0.3, I don't know. Part of me says that 0.3 might be too aggressive, but I don't know, it looks okay, I guess. Just kind of looking at the actions of the character on screen while I check that. I guess it's okay. So 1.3. Let's actually make that change permanent. Then we'll go to the project. We'll go to Osaka. Can I move it into here? Alright, hold on. I want to move it as a sub one here. That way we can work on it. So the 4 we says negative 1.3, and that does move down. And then we'll save that. We'll unload that and take a look. Make sure that that's saved correctly. Okay, that looks good. And that gives us more a field of view of the city. We could technically lower the city skyline a little bit. Or not necessarily skyline, but you know, the layer here. Maybe could get away with 1 more pixel. Maybe 2. Let's see. City layer. Alright, so this one will be a little tricky. This makes it go up, go down. I believe it was originally lined like this, but you kind of lose the sense of the tall buildings if it's too high, or too low rather. That's not bad. Could potentially get this. Maybe that works good. Oh, is that where we were? That's where we were, wasn't it? No. Wait, hold on. Let's go back. It was 0.5. God damn it. Alright. 6. That's pretty good. You can see most of the signs at that point. And the running man is really visible there. Yeah, and then the layer does get more visible as you go up. Give that little extra sense of perspective, so I do like that. If you notice, like, his foot is cut off here, but when Terry does rising tackle, at the higher altitudes, see, part of his foot actually becomes visible, so that gives that scrolling parallax up and down, which I think helps just add to it. So... Oh, shoot! Well, we're pretty much out of time, it sounds like. Alright. I'm going to edit the background, just to make sure I finish this here. So if it goes into a little over time, then that's fine. I don't mind. Pretty hyped up today. Okay, yeah, so at this point, let's see. We have to make that change permanent for this. This is 1.6 offset. So let's make that permanent here. That was the city layer. 0.6. Which that moved it down, right? Or... Oh, I'm sorry, you won't see the preview right away. I'd have to load in the parallax mock camera so that we could see the 4.5. Yeah, that looks right. His foot was just cut off at the tip there. And then 0.5. Yeah. So we lost that 1 pixel there. Yeah, that works. So we'll save that. Yeah. Now that change is permanent. Okay, so now we need to know how far up will it go. We are missing 3 pixels plus a few pixels we need extra for when the screen shakes. You'll get that. So let's see. Let's align this Let's get rid of that, and we'll hide Felicia and Yuki. I'll get the normal bridge, and crap, did I close the... No, here it is. So this is our new file. Let's see. So Running Man's foot's cut off, and then we are. You know what? Let's just take a screenshot. Worth 1,000 words, right? Now we'll just import that. That'll be much easier to take a look at. Okay. So from the bottom HUD, the gradient is 11 pixels. Alright, so we're going to... Let's just kill that. That's fine. This is the new and improved replacement anyway. So he's 11 pixels then, huh? Alright, let's see. What does this give us? 13. So 1, 2. Let's try it again. 11. Okay. We'll save that. Make sure that it's aligned right on the sides, and it looks like it's fine. Okay, so then the background, the city, has to come down 1. Running Man has to come down 1. Make sure that's right. So the HUD on the top, we see 3 pixels of that on the top, and that's right. Okay, that lines up. That's good. We'll save that. So a couple things. Sky. Let's see. Dither here is how many from the top of that building? 6. Seven. So, and the placement is such that this ray is over the top of this here, and that's our basic orientation here. Actually, one more. Is it? Yeah, one more. Okay. Now this will give us more of a perspective on what we can and can't see here. So we figured that how many pixels was it? Take another screenshot. No, not help. Cancel. 3. Okay. We're down 3. Oh, because it moves up, right? Because it scrolls up a bit. I was going to say, this gap is bigger than 3, but this layer scrolls up with the camera, so there's not quite as much of an overlay problem here. And this scrolls exactly with the camera, so there won't be an overlay problem there. Okay. Well, let's turn off Running Man for a minute. Where's Running Man? Main sign. I'll rename that to Running Man. That's what his real name is, apparently, so. He's the Running Man. Okay, so the quick and dirty, obviously, thing we can do here is just copy and paste this, but we will, of course, pretty it up a bit. You could argue that this ends here. Actually, it doesn't look like it really would, does it? That's kind of a strange perspective on that, isn't it? I'll be completely honest, it probably looks a little better this way, but I don't know. something like that. I don't know. Whatever. You probably won't even see it anyway. Okay, the Neo Geo Pocket advert stays at that height. So let's look at our Running Man again. There he is. Alright, what? Yeah, we can close that now. And we'll keep these for reference. Sort of. But it was like this, which looks like it's bent that way. I mean, I could just leave that way, but I don't know. It still looks wonky. It still looks bent here. You'd have to really, like, take those pixels out or something. I don't know. It's a little weird. But whatever, we'll just go with it. Let's see. Running Man, sign. Okay, that's as big as he gets. Now, I'm pretty sure the actual sign is bigger than that. So, let's just make sure that... Okay, that is the full sprite, it looks like. So that's as big as he gets, and that's his alignment. We could bump him up if we wanted to move him up to like here. We could do that. Just change his alignment, and then there's probably no way you're going to see that anyway at the top. So actually, just for reference, how far does his sprite go? Not here, but here. Yeah, you barely see the foot there. Okay, so in relation to the top, I'll just make a solid block here. In relation to the top, he ends up. Yeah, you would just barely not see. Yeah, you wouldn't see the top pixel there. I believe. So that's fine. If it's dark up on top, whatever. We can deal with that. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do with the city, I don't believe that these are supposed to be see-through here. As you see that they look like this. It was probably done with an alignment that was similar to this. So that either you saw it like this or whatever, and it didn't look like they were cut out. However, with the ability to scroll the layers, you're going to see that aberration in the middle. So what I'd like to do is just paint it in. Happy little insert here, whatever you want to call it. Happy little line. Which also means that these are probably the same. I don't know if that's filled in, but it is now. And this as well. So now if it moves, you don't get that aberration on the side. Now, arguably they could be darker. Especially the ones up here. Oh. City layer. Probably makes more sense so that they don't clash with the skyline. So these ones down here are fine being that. Actually, I guess I missed a pixel. Because that matches what the sky looks like at that level. But the ones up on top do better to have the darker shade, because for the same reason. So if it's like what, something like this. What's our alignment? Default. You're okay, Running Man. Close out. Yeah, something like that. Oh, is that? No, it's not that low. It's this, basically. There. I think that's pretty much the exact alignment. Okay. There, and then so you see that, you know, that protects it from looking too out of place there. And then these ones are wider because they're lower. And that should work. Gives a sense that the buildings are a little more whole than they are. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I'm looking to make sure the alignment here looks right. So that's what, 2 pixels above the O, and it's 2 pixels. Okay, so our HUD alignment is correct in the base file. So it's time to export. We've got Osaka City. And just so that we have the new bridge in the main folder here, we'll save that. Now this is not the copy that Unity is working off of, so just to make sure that they're consistent so I don't get confused at any point. And then Running Man doesn't need adjustments, and I think we're all set with that. So, what we do need to do, here's the Unity files. Need the copy over the other one. Where is my fighter? Okay. Resources. Raw resources. Stages. Oh, not raw resources. Yeah, these are stages from other games, just as reference and stuff. Like, we used this from the Game Boy Advance, or I'm sorry, the Game Boy Color version of Street Fighter Alpha. Yeah, if you don't know about that, that's wild. Go check it out. Like, it's way better than you think it would be. But we used the train stage. That is the base for the train stage there. And then I've got a prototype version of this going on, but it's not finished. So it's kind of a collection of other stuff. That's what that... I call it raw resources because it's stuff that's not edited or whatever. But, oh, not fighters, stages. So stages, Osaka. Okay, so we've got the city is now different. So we'll copy that. It will ask us to replace it. And... boom. Okay, now the alignment's not right, but it will be in a moment. So we determined that I believe that this alignment is fine. We're 2 pixels away from the O, but the Running Man needs to get pushed up. I believe, yeah, because at this point you can't really see his face anyway. But you can kind of see his face. I guess that's also a concern. Well, either way, to be completely honest, you don't really lose much by the pixels at the top. It just kind of looks like part of the sign anyway, so we can keep it at that orientation. He doesn't have to move up. Oh, I was doing pretty good for keyboard there. And then all the other elements were aligned to that layer already, so we don't need to adjust those. And so our buildings look a little more solid with their new solid lines there. That's pretty much it, I guess. Like I said, Terry's cross-up is actually his heavy kick, which is wild. Nope. What I want to do is that. There we go. That's a little tough on keyboard, especially without the gaming keyboard. A little easier on usual. Oh, we got a problem. Okay, so the sky doesn't go all the way up. What we can do here we could say that the sky layer, see it's currently attached to that one. We can say that the sky layer goes up with the screen. Or not with the screen, but just slightly up a little. So, 0.9. There. Then it moves a little bit. No, not really. Oh. That kind of covers it, but I don't know if I like that kind of behavior. I actually don't really like the way it's shifting, so we're just going to make the sky layer bigger. So quick and dirty, we can copy it at first and see. Actually, you know what? I'll just fill out the purple here. This is not that complicated. So really, we just need to increase the ray length here. Something like this. Oop. It'd be very hard to see that anyway. There. Fill that in. Let's see, this is a 3-step. Does that look alright? Nah, that doesn't look right. There. Easy peasy. Second. Please step it every other way. No, still don't look quite right. But it needs that. And here. That's good enough. Not bad. Running Man needs a pocket-style face? Yeah, eventually, probably. Wouldn't that be wild? You'd have to redraw kind of the whole thing, but it would be pretty wild. Alright, so I changed this. We'll probably have to change the orientation in-game, but, we'll see. Yeah, it looked like it got moved down a little because of that. So, our original looks like it needs to move over maybe 5-6 pixels. Looks like the height's actually the same. Okay, here we go. It was something like this instead. So 1.7, we'll try to remember that. And then this was 3 from the top there. And if we zoom in, let's yeah, look at this. It's 3 from the top. Okay, cool. Oh, you can see there's I activated the free aspect so you can see the border there. Back, let me zoom it out just a little. There. turn pixel filter on, but I don't know if you want to look at that or not. It only took 10 minutes to add, so it is what it is. Okay, get back where we were. So we said what, 1.7 or negative 1.7? That looks about right. And it's got to match. Yeah, it's got to match the. That's what, 0.87? That's not specific. Alright, and we'll change the fit here. There, so it scrolls a bit more horizontally. But it should stay in time with... Yeah, it stays well enough, I guess. I don't know. Let's see, is this guy? I guess the buildings would move differently, where the sky layer won't move. The buildings would move up. The sky is a static element. Yeah, I guess that works. I almost feel like it should be something like this. That kind of works with the perspective. Where here, you don't see so much on the signs. But when you see here, all the perspective is down, this curve down to the, or I guess the line down to the bottom right. So this ray ends up with following that. And then on the right side, you see them kind of in the middle here. Actually, it could be adjusted a little further. You could make the argument that it should be like this. That's like negative 2.5. Yeah, and then here, all the perspective comes right down into the center. I actually like that. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so it's negative 2.5 and then 1 on the Y. Style here. 2.5. And it's already 1, so that works. Save it. And now the rising tackle test. See if we can see anything on the top. Oh no, it's solid. Cool. Cool. Alright. We've got an Osaka stage, boys. I've covered enough bases that that I think it's good enough to include now. Nope. Missed a charge on that. There we go. Yeah. It's looking pretty good, I think. Oh, yeah, actually, the best test, because of the screen shake, is to show you again. That will shake it at its maximum height. Oh, shit. I picked random stage, didn't I? What a dummy. What a dummy me. Okay, turn. Osaka. Oh! Oh! I missed the screen shake. Yeah, there's no break. Don't know if the sides do though. I don't think I've calibrated the backgrounds for the sides, so there could be some shake going on here. That brings them a little out of their zone here. Yeah, you do see a little break, but all the stages have that right now, and it's not as easy to correct. So, it will stay that way for the time being. That's not what I want. Missed it. Oh, I missed it again. There we go. Oh! There is a bit of timing in order to get that one. So do that. Hello, hello. Defurious. I keep wanting to say your name is Nefarious, but I know that's wrong. So I stuttered there a second. I'm like, wait a minute, I want to screw this up. Welcome back. Come on. Ah, come on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Looking at the way the skyline scrolls, I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, gonna say I'm out of EX. So I'm trying to fling him across the screen so we can see what it looks like. Might actually be easier with Terry. Oh, that's not what I expected to do, but yeah, baby. Corner carry, baby. Let's go. We can do that with Terry too. In fact. Oh shit. Wrong stage. Okay. Let me get the proper equipment for this. Any proper corner-to-corner testing, of course, needs to be done on stick. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'll send Ken flying. Ken deserves a beating. I don't know if I've practiced any of... Oops. I don't know if I practiced anything with this... with him. On stick. Oh! Yep, I have it. Whoa! Woo! Oh, 2A. Nope. Ugh. I'm dying here. Ah. Alright, let's do the easier part of this first then. Okay, Kevin. Oh, jeez. Easy part my ass. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, shit. I keep thinking I can cancel off of it, but I can't anymore. Oh, wow, I really need practice with Terry. Oh, crap. can tell I've been using pad to test him. Nope, not enough. Okay, let's try this. Corner to corner. Should be doable. Not that exactly. I messed the input up. But I think we're getting there. Something like that. Do I think that might be close enough? Let's see. Let's see. Can we do this? Whoop. Only in the corner, I think. Yep, that's not what I want. Oh. Shit. That is too close to the corner. That won't tell me anything. God damn it. I think he travels too fast, so we can't do that one. Probably stuck with power charge heavy. Yeah, that might be in range to do power charge EX. Oops. My bar back. Ah. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's try this. Oh, I didn't do the EX. Like an idiot. Back. Oh jeez, that's not what I want. Oh my god. I'm so used to just doing burn knuckle off of it. Well, you gotta do power charge to get burn knuckle H. That's usually the optimal ender, especially if you're not gonna max cancel it, or if you're close to a corner. Shoot. And then something from there. Probably get... Ooh, you know what we could do? Yeah, that'll work. I got it now. Boom! There you go, corner to corner. Get in there. Harass. Yeah, I like it. Damn. This I gotta practice. There we go. Old Man Wiz still got it in him. A little bit. Shit. Apparently not. Not enough charge. There we go. Okay. It helps that when you run and have to hold down forward, that's the direction that you need to do that in. So that just works. As long as you hold that direction, get that, good. And you can negative edge it, so actually makes those charge releases quite a bit easier. can do. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Not optimal, but it works. Oh, no. Obviously you can do that, but say a certain range, you can make that work. Yeah. So you could throw one out, I don't know. It'd be really dumb if they just got hit all the way out there, but if you're looking for the hit spark, have it buffered and ready. There. No, too late. Well, whatever, you get the idea. There's a whole bunch you can do with Terry. It's fun. I'm gonna have to get some more real matches in. So we're using Parsec to play it online right now until the built-in netcode gets done. So if you're in the Discord and you catch me when I need to test stuff, you can play this build with me online, and hopefully it works out okay. Parsec basically streams from your computer. It's like a screen share, but it sends the button input back to my computer, and so that you can actually play the game online. It's not ideal. You have to have a pretty decent connection between the people to do it. It's not something that's going to work for everybody, especially at long distance or with crappy connections. So you gotta be really, really, really careful with it. But it's the only thing we can do to test it with real matches right now. So if you are in the Discord with link down below, and you happen to catch me while I'm doing those throughout the week, could be the lucky winner and play some real matches. Just get psychic. Well, yeah, that's the thing. See, Tim lives across the ocean, so we did not have a very good time with Parsec. So if you are on the East Coast of the United States, then there might be a chance that it won't be complete ass. But my internet connection is also really shitty where I live, so. Who knows how well that will, no, the stream image is not frozen. Not for me, anyway. Maybe, restart? Or, refresh? Working here, at least. So, yeah, there's that, and... Let's see. We have... Oh, other mouse. We are a patron-funded stream. And we do have top-tier patrons to read the names out of. So we've got Zombie Killer. We've got the best name on the list, Corporal Chungus. We got Jerry Berry. We got Taryn Williams. We've got AJ. Bryce Nagolinum. You are our top, tippy-top scrub generals in the scrub army. So thank you extra very much. If you would like to support us, there are perks to that. There's code samples, there's early builds of the projects we do in stream, and yes, including this one. I upload those monthly and weekly. So check that link down below if that interests you. Otherwise, hit us up in Discord, yell at us real time. Check me out on Twitter if you want. It's the cesspool of Twitter. It's not too bad. Kind of where you go. But that's pretty much it. So we'll be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the 26th. More Pocket Fighter EX. And that's it. So scrub out. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.